Nathan Jude. I'm here with Wolves reporter Tim Spiers. It is Tim, 11:09. Why are we so late tonight? Why? Tell me.
Because the head coach didn't come out for a little while. He was I've never heard someone apologise so much.
It was unbelievable.
In such a short space of time. Nuno kept us waiting an hour and 10 minutes. That's a record. And then he came to the press room. New press room, and just said, "So I'm so sorry, again and again and again."
20 plus times I counted.
It was quite the show.
But he was sorry.
Of apologies.
He was sorry though.
He was sorry. He meant it. So that's why we're late.
He was with Mr. Jukanovic, I think, after the game.
Yeah, they used to be teammates. Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
Having a good chat.
Fair enough. Well, let's talk about what's happened before us. November curse. What November curse? They were fine tonight. I don't think they were excellent, but it was a November curse. But you know, pretty comfortable really in the end.
Extremely comfortable, and you didn't really expect anything else. I mean, I put this stat out the other day. Wolves' last win in November in the Championship was 2008. They went 4 years they've been in the Championship in that time. Lost 12, drawn 7.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, right? Just ridiculous. But you knew, got a bit of stick when I put that tweet out this week. Someone was like, "Oh, you've been so negative." I was just pointing it out. But we all knew it wouldn't last under Nuno.
No. And
he's gone and proved it, because all the history and the problems that Wolves have had in the past, these guys have no respect for that.
They don't care, do they?
It's they're writing their own history, and they're doing it brilliantly, and they dominated, particularly the second half tonight, and they were very good value for the win. It was probably the most comfortable win at Molineux this season, maybe.
Yeah,
I just thought they controlled the game.
Exactly, controlled it, and they don't decimate the opposition. They weren't creating hundreds of chances,
no.
but Fulham never really looked threatening, did they? As much as they had possession, they didn't really look like they were going to score.
Well, I think Fulham changed their game plan, because they pretty much defended with a back 6, but particularly in the first half. They had the back 4, and then their wingers played so deep. They were man marking Douglas and Doherty, trying to stop Wolves' wing backs playing, which has been a successful tactic for opposition teams this season. You stop the wing backs, you've got a good chance of stopping Wolves. And from open play, it was very even in the first half. Neither team really created many chances. All the 3 good chances in the first half came from set pieces. Ken McDonald should have equalised at 1-0 when Ruddy's let the ball slip through his fingers. He's got floor on his fingers.
Yeah, I like that tweet.
And he's ballooned over the bar, McDonald. But yeah, and Wolves' goals, for all the fantastic play that they come up with, and the beautiful passing and the gorgeous goals. Yeah. They've now scored 4 set-piece goals in a row.
We'll take it.
Wolves fans like to lord it over their near Albion neighbours with their set-piece goals. But yeah, that's it's Nuno ball.
Nuno ball,
they say. But yeah, no, the delivery's from Douglas. So he's done it twice at Norwich on Tuesday, one directly and one indirectly, led to a goal. Tonight, both directly. Corner to the near post for Sace. Really good run to the near post. Header 1-0. Poor defending. Second goal, again poor defending, but Bonatini's got to the near post again, this time from a free kick, 2-0. And that was, Wolves weren't really worried in the second half, that was it.
What did he do with the ball? What did he do with the ball?
Who?
With Douglas.
Oh!
Whip.
He whipped. Yeah, it's a bit of a Family Guy reference for
it was a decent tweet out to be there at the time, I think. Cool whip. But like you say, coming out second half, I just expected Fulham to go at them, and it just never really happened, did it? And it was, I mean, you were ready with your match report. It was a nice and easy game, wasn't it?
It was very easy as far as writing the match report goes. Wolves, they stepped it up a gear in the second half. I thought the general performance wasn't great in the first half. Certainly not a patch on what they produced at Norwich. Must be taken into account. They played 3 games in 7 days, the busiest schedule that I think Nuno and a lot of the players have had in their careers before. Jota said that last Friday. He's never known 3 games in 6 days, because obviously they're normally Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, or in the League Cup they've been resting the first team players. That's not the case this time. Nuno's not used to it either. So I think you let them off for not playing well in the first half, but they did ramp it up again in the second half, really producing that free-flowing football that we've all come to love and adore this season, that they produce on such a consistent basis. And they could and should have had more goals. Bonatini missed a diving header. Jota had a goal-bound shot blocked. A couple of others as well with Cavallero. But they had to settle for 2-0. But like I said, the last 10 minutes were a procession.
Is that because Fulham are more of a footballing side, a bit more like Wolves sort of thing, maybe not as good ability-wise, but at the same time, they didn't want someone to go and press them tonight? And I thought, actually, the guy got booked down here on Jota early on, got booked straight away, where do you think?
Seconds, yeah.
And that set the precedent, and they kind of backed off a little bit there. So, I think that's what Neil's been maybe asking for earlier on in games, and referee stamped his authority, and I think that helps Wolves.
That did help. It's a good point. 50 seconds in, Jota was going down the wing and gets completely taken out. It's a booking. And it didn't really happen again. It wasn't a nasty game. I barely noticed the ref, to be honest, which is, of course, exactly what we all want.
Yeah.
So it was the perfect evening for Wolves because, as far as we know, no injuries. I know Willy Bolly went off late on, but he's obviously had 2 games in 3 days after coming back from 2 months out. Most of the players played well. An easy victory, and now they've got 2 weeks off and they're 4 points clear at the top of the table.
Leo Bonatini, 6 in 6. Don't think someone's done it since the 1930s, is it? Some gadgy scored 6 in 6. 6 in 6.
You will.
Huh?
What, man?
I don't know. Saw it on Twitter.
Let me feel with you.
Go on.
Well, he scored in his last 6 league games.
Yes.
Well, he played in the Man City Cup game, didn't score. So
yes.
it's league games we're talking about.
Yes.
He scored 7 goals in those matches.
Yes.
He's got 10 for the season. He's now top scorer in the Championship.
He's only top scorer last season, 10 as well?
No, Costa got 12 last season in total, but including the cups. So
I'm not going down the stat way. I'm not going to ask him all the stats here.
Yeah, just leave it to me, mate.
Go on.
You ask the questions.
Give me then. Go on. But unbelievable though. Unbelievable record.
Yeah, I've got to check the last Wolves player to score 6 league games in a row.
1930.
No, it's not.
No.
Henry Kamara did it for 5 games in 2004. Anyway, just fabulous, and he scored a variety of goals now. Tap-ins, really good shots, a header today, another couple of chances as well. He just keeps scoring. It's ridiculous, and he fits in so seamlessly into this team. And I don't know where they'd be without him. I think I've said this more than anybody. You wonder where they'd be without him. You really do, because there's no replacement.
No.
Jota played the false 9 a couple of times, but Bonatini's the only one. If he'd have been rubbish, right? If he'd have been terrible,
which people were like, you weren't coming to the start, were you?
He's come from Saudi Arabia, so of course a huge question marks over him. If he'd have been rubbish, or if he'd have got injured on September the 1st, I don't. Where would Wolves be in the table? Just in the middle of the playoffs for me, I think. Yeah. They're not so much relying on him, but he's proved the difference so far this season.
Great focal point.
And yes, they'll sign a striker in January, but he's been a real catalyst for this amazing run of form. And they've got Neves, who's outstanding tonight. They've got Bolly, he was outstanding tonight. Jota, etc. But Bonatini's the one who's the reason that they're top of the league.
So when they look for a striker now in January, will they look for someone to complement, or just as a second fiddle now, really? Because Bonatini looks like to be your main man. So can they relax a little bit more?
I don't know. If they're going to spend a bit of money, they'll just bring in a top striker, because this club hopes to be in the Premier League next season. So they're not just going to buy someone with a typical Championship striker to help them get up. I think they'll be going all out for a big name and a fantastic first team striker. That's what they tried to do in August. Why wouldn't they? You're not just going to buy a reserve backup. But the great thing is now that so many players are going to want to come here, because they're top of the table and they're a club going places. I tell you what, it's going to take something to stop them this season. It really is. We're getting to that stage now. They're 4 points clear. We've won 5 out of 6. Not many obvious weaknesses at all. Loads of great players who aren't getting any minutes here, or even on the bench.
Like zero.
Even on the bench, some really good players. So
it's hard.
Honestly,
you don't want to get carried away, do you? But
you just go. It's another statement tonight. I'm in front of the camera, seeing lots of national journalists or ex-players tweeting tonight saying this Wolves team's amazing, because there's a lot of them seeing them again for the first time. There's another statement tonight. Honestly, it's catch us if you can.
I've got the Fulham lot up there tonight, the media people, and they're saying Wolves aren't out to get out of second gear tonight, and they really haven't. And this is a team, Fulham, who were tipped for promotion at the start of the season.
You can tell, right, the amount of opposition fans or journalists or managers who have said Wolves are the best team we've played.
Oh lordy, then.
And the amount of reporters you speak to who go to a lot of Championship games. I haven't seen a team as good as Wolves, they say, and I agree. And they're going to take some stopping. They really are.
Now, I guess the big question with the Game of Thrones reference is that winter is coming. It's starting to get a bit dull, a bit dreary, a bit cold. Is that where the tests come, the games come thick and fast, and that's where the squad will need to be utilised?
Well, that's what's happened this week, and they lost their easiest game on paper at QPR, and they've recovered really well away at Norwich. Really tough test, and here tonight again, a tough test. I know Fulham are struggling, but still, they've got some great players. So
good time for a break, or not? I know they're going to internationals. There's a lot of them that will be away, but just to recover.
I don't think it really matters. Bring it on. I mean, they'll have to make use of it, because there's no break now until March. But yeah, like I said, the squad is daft. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Costa even didn't get off the bench tonight. And
who's he? What's this guy?
And Vinagre didn't get off the bench. Vinagra's last 2 games, Burton away was outstanding and scored. Man City away, he struggled defensively, but he did that Kyle Walker thing that everyone went bonkers about on the internet, retweeting L, clickbaiting L.
Not like clickbait.
Anyway, so these are the kind of players that aren't even getting the same. Will Norris, yet to concede a goal for Wolves in 4 games. He can't. Captain Danny Bart had a brilliant season ball. He's won over his doubters. He can't get on the team.
Oh, he's loving it down there. They're all going crazy for him.
Courtney Hawes can't get in the squad tonight.
Yeah.
Michael Zero, as you mentioned as well. Jack Price couldn't get in the squad tonight. It's
Ronan.
daft, right? It's absolutely Morgan Gibbs-White, Conor Ronan. It's absolutely daft. So when the injuries come, which they will, that's when Wolves' test comes. But there's not many players in this team that you say, oh Christ, if so and so was injured, they'd really struggle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that has been the case with Wolves teams in promotion in the past. It's the case with other teams in the Championship, like Sheffield United. But apart from maybe Neves, they've shown they can cope with that Bolly. Yeah, they've shown they can cope with that Bolly. Bonatini has discussed, but I think if they get through to January, they'll get a replacement.
You got Say/and Die.
Neves, and I think if Neves went out of the team, Price would come in, and I think Price would look great in this team with the way that he plays, as he did in pre-season. Doherty's the only other one I think you could say that if he was injured, they might miss him. But apart from that, you could take anyone out of this team and replace him with like for like.
Yeah.
And they've shown already at Man City away in many other games that the players that come in know exactly what they're doing. They know their jobs, they know their roles, and that's down to the manager, whose reputation grows by the week. And I've got to say,
is Man United next week? Is he?
He's so impressive, and they love him here. They were singing his name all throughout the first.
I think he loves it as well.
He loves it, and he loves them, and it's all coming together. It really is.
Yeah, exciting. It's Wolves 2, Fulham 0. Wolves are 4 points clear at the top of the table. For the post-match reaction, make sure you log on to expressandStar.com.